All right, so here's one of my favorite all-time childhood dishes. It's a traditional Filipino recipe. There's going to be a lot of opinions on whose mom or grandmother makes it better, but it took me a good part of 10 years to perfect this flavor ratio. So here's pork adobo. Okay, so what I've started to do here is cut up our pork butt, or Boston butt. The Boston butt is a really inexpensive piece of meat. It goes for probably a couple bucks a pound. It comes from the upper part of the shoulder of the front leg of the pig with the shoulder blade. Now, the benefits of using the Boston butt is it has a tremendous amount of intramuscular fat. Now, we're going to be simmering this dish for an extended period of time with a lot of acidity. There's a lot of vinegar in this, so that fat's really going to help out. If you're using a more leaner cut like chops, or if you're doing the chicken version of pork adobo, I tend to use thighs because of the fat. Now, when you're dealing with breasts, the vinegar is really going to dry out that lean meat. So Boston butt is definitely the way to go. I'm actually pretty excited because I get to bust the cherry on this early birthday gift from my brother from an obviously different mother. New chef knife. I like it. It's good balance, nice finish on it, really sharp. Helped me cut up that butt real good. Thanks, Abed. Good gift. Now, once I have my pot up to temp, I'm going to go ahead and start browning off the pork as you would any type of like beef stew. We're just going to sear it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to do it in batches, and that way it doesn't cool down the pot too much. Okay. Now, once that's done, I'm going to add in some whole garlic cloves, and we're just going to saute that for a little bit before we add the pork. And after that, we can go ahead and add in our sauce mixture. All right, so the sauce. The sauce is the key to the flavor, okay? This is what took me so long to figure out. It was always either too salty or too much tang, like too much vinegar, and it just took forever to dial in. But I'm gonna give you the formula right now, okay? A, 1 cup of water. 2, 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and D, 1/8 of a cup of white wine vinegar. And that is it. I guarantee you it is the perfect ratio of soy sauce to vinegar and water. It has worked out great every single time. Okay, so you can multiply that for however much liquid you need to cover the pork. But if you follow this, I promise you, it will bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses. It's gonna taste good. It'll taste real good. That's what I'm on. Okay, so I threw in a couple bay leaves and about a tablespoon of ground pepper. We're gonna bring it up to a boil, and then we're gonna throw it down to a simmer, put the lid on, and leave it there for about an hour. It'll get nice and tender, so just leave it. Okay, so after about an hour, you're gonna pull back that lid, and you're gonna notice there's a pretty nice little layer of fat that the pork rendered off. So traditionally speaking, you go ahead and leave that in, but I'm not too big of a fan of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and skim that out. And as you can see, after about a few minutes, that's quite a bit of fat. Yeah, I don't like that in there. Once you're done skimming off that fat, now I'm just going to add some potatoes, some russet potatoes that I peeled and quartered. Just make sure they're nice and covered, and you're going to let that go for another 20 minutes until they're fork tender. is it, guys. I know I've had a lot of requests from friends about showing how this is done. That's why I want to make sure I get that video out to you guys. It's a really inexpensive and quick and easy dish, you know. You might even have all the ingredients in your house already. Just pick up some pork or some chicken and go at it. And one thing I do want to tell you is actually this adobo is usually better the next day. It has gives it time for the acidities to mellow out, and it usually ends up being a lot better on the second day. But I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead and dig in right now. I'll see you guys later.